You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
They've shut down all gas lines and cleared all power lines from the streets in Washington, Illinois, following the devastating tornado that ran through there Sunday. And now, finally, residents are being let back to start picking up what's left of their stuff. Good evening, I'm Taylor Burrell. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Sabrina Bennett, but there's so much more to sort through that residents are going to need some help. They might just get that help as there have been many groups of people headed down to help in the relief. Several of our own NIU students joined together with meteorology students from the College of DuPage to help assist residents in the cleanup effort. They also passed out water and gave out snacks while many residents dug through what's left of their homes.
Well, if you happen to look up in the sky in the near future, you might see something a little different.
That's right, drones are becoming more and more popular. But as NTC reporter Rachel Edwards shows us, this could be raising some concerns in the community.
Flying model airplanes is a popular hobby for many people. Recognizing them in the sky usually isn't hard because they're much smaller than regular airplanes and they can't fly very high. But will people recognize when one of the latest in flying technologies is flying in the skies above them? Drones. Most people know them as machines that our military uses to launch missiles at targets in the Middle East. But what's stirring up more conversation among Americans is what they might eventually be used for.
A lot of people want to get into domestic drone usage. They want to use it to deliver packages. So for example, right now, when FedEx flies packages from Tennessee to Chicago, it's a pilot in a cargo plane. Well, there's no reason that you need to have, that many personnel in the aircraft.
Talk of domestic drone use is bringing up privacy concerns among American citizens. The fear that drones may be watching them is causing people to have a negative reaction to the idea of drones.
The privacy issue is a bigger issue because it has to do with, all kinds of erosions of privacy that are taking place. We know the NSA is spying on us and listening to our phone calls and gathering our email and creating giant data sets with regards to U.S. citizens, so it's part of that bigger mix.
People's privacy concerns may play a bigger role once drones are allowed to be in the air. With new FAA regulations in the works, we could see drones in the skies above us within the next 5 years. For NTC News, from DeKalb Taylor Municipal Airport, I'm Rachel Edwards.
Thank you, Rachel. And it's a busy week for DeKalb Police in a variety of ways. They are starting to pack up for the big move from the City Hall location to their new building on the Lincoln Highway Street across from the NIU campus. They have a moving ceremony planned on Friday afternoon. Officers have already started taking equipment over to the new building. As you can see, it looks bare now, but by the end of the week, the station will be fully operational. And on top of the big move, police are also coordinating a relief drive for those affected by the Washington tornado.
Police are still investigating the case of a man who was attacked on Hillcrest Monday afternoon. They say 6 to 8 men jumped the victim. Initial reports said attackers used baseball bats and chairs, but no evidence of that was found at the crime scene. The suspects fled the area before police could arrive, leaving the victim with minor injuries.
And watch your cars because a theft ring is at it again. Police are still looking for people who are stealing catalytic converters. The converters are being taken from vehicles parked in businesses on Sycamore Road. According to DeKalb and Sycamore Police, about 15 converters have been stolen in recent weeks. Anyone with information should contact the DeKalb County Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers will pay a cash reward for anyone up to $1,000, and reports can be made anonymously.
A new subdivision in DeKalb is going to be built in the coming years after a green light from the City Council.
Thomas Hiley has more on this, on how the new subdivision is taking shape.
There's a closed-off section by DeKalb High School where work is going to be done on the new subdivision. The amount of land that is going to be worked on is 458 acres that will soon be the new community in DeKalb in the upcoming years. It is located north of DeKalb High School on 501 West Dresser Road. The ones who are constructing the subdivision is Shodin Construction. They have been discussing this for over 5 years to City Council, and 5th Ward Alderman Ron Naylor tells us his reason why he chose to vote for the idea.
It's a great location, particularly a location around the new high school and all the other amenities that are offered up in that area of the parks and the open space and the closeness to the university and the attachment to the existing large majority of our existing residential housing is on.
Shodin presented a blueprint to City Council of what they plan to do with all the land. Some of the ideas will range from park areas and townhomes. However, 3rd Ward Alderman Christian Lash was one of 2 who was against the idea due to past experience in DeKalb.
Housing. There's developments in Cortland and Sycamore that have just a few houses on an empty road that, didn't go anywhere because the houses weren't selling. David Jacobson made a really good point about other developments in town that got started and their residents were promised amenities that they don't have because the development hasn't quite been finished out yet.
Even with the passing, Shodin will not start construction for quite some time.
This whole area to my right will be filled with elementary schools, townhomes, and churches within the next 2 years. The Iron development was recently passed, but even so, development won't be taking place until 2 years from now due to the fact the economy is in a bad situation.
It's estimated that the community will be built within the next 20 years. Reporting from NTC News, I'm Thomas Hiley.
Thank you, Thomas. And a $900,000 settlement has been reached to repair a Kesslinger Road bridge that collapsed in 2008. The reason it took so long to fix was because DeKalb County and Afton Township both claimed they shouldn't have to pay for the repairs. This led to a lawsuit filed in 2011 and dismissed Thursday after Enbridge Energy agreed to rebuild the bridge with little cost to local government. Designs needed to repair the bridge began about a month ago. Construction is expected to begin next fall. County officials say that they are a long way from knowing the exact cost of the bridge.
The Feed 'em Soup charity is adding a lunch buffet to help raise money for its free Wednesday dinner. The Soup Kitchen is adding a soup and salad bar buffet every Wednesday through Friday. This is an effort used to pay for the 250 to 400 free meals that they give away every Wednesday night. The restaurant has become more popular in the community, which means they need more money to feed more people. They also added Feed 'em After Dark program last year and are giving away another free meal every 4th Sunday.
Sycamore Middle School is changing the way they stack up their physical education class. And you're gonna love this.
NTC reporter Mark Neal has more on how one of the students turned cup stacking into a new physical education unit.
At Sycamore Middle School, one kid is responsible for bringing in a new unit to physical education class. It's a little bit different than your typical football and basketball. Its name is cup stacking.
13-year-old Jeff Ward stacks cups so fast it looks like it's in fast forward. Ward and the students of Sycamore Middle School were just a few of the 500,000 people worldwide that participated in the Stack Up event on Thursday. The event was part of Guinness Book of World Records Day, but Jeff knows there is more than just putting cups on top of each other.
Improves hand-eye coordination, ambidexterity, bilateral proficiency.
To show how fast Jeff does the cup stacking, we're going to time him when he does the cycle event. Woo. 7 seconds.
As Jeff is one of the fastest cup stackers in the country, he has helped make cup stacking a new physical education unit.
They can work on their bilateral proficiency, which is the ability to use both sides of the body, both hands. The brain is divided into 2 hemispheres.
As Jeff keeps practicing, he hopes to continue to take cup stacking to a whole new level.
Sycamore Middle School says they plan on using the cup stacking unit for many more years to come. In Sycamore, Mark Neal, NTC News.
The 500,000 people that participated in the Stack Up event set a new record. That's awesome.
That is. I don't think I can move my hands that fast. Well, before we go anywhere, let's take a look how the weather is going to be the rest of the week.
Brittany Merlot is with us now. And Brittany, following that tornado Sunday, is this the beginning of cold winter weather?
Well, actually, all weather always fluctuates. It depends on the jet stream and whether it's going to bring us that warm, moist air, which we got over the weekend, or the cold, blustery air that we do have in the very near future, unfortunately. But before we get into that, let's take a look at tomorrow's temperatures. We are going to see in DeKalb a high of 48, and all over the Illinois, we're going to see upper 40s to lower 50s. Unfortunately, it is going to be raining. The rain will push in tonight and last throughout tomorrow. We're going to see in DeKalb about 1/4 of an inch of rain, and those temperatures are not going to stay here much longer. So for more on the cool down ahead of us, stick with us. We'll be right back.
And a little later, firefighters save lives, but some don't have the supplies they need. That's what led one firefighter to start this page on Facebook, and we're going to talk to him. And our guest, Griff Legler, is a firefighter who is trying to help address a different kind of problem with his campaign, Supply a Hero. Griff, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So what can you tell us about what exactly is Supply a Hero?
Basically, it's a nonprofit project that I've started. And it's taking equipment and bringing it to less funded firehouses. We kind of have to face the facts right now that the government's not typically helping us, and that's where they're making the cuts. So we want to bring equipment back into the firehouses so we can take care of the community that we protect.
And how did you come up with this idea?
I pretty much just sat down one night and was thinking about what am I really passionate about, and it hit me, it's firefighting, and there's possibilities I want to create within the fire service, and I see this as something that has to be done.
And as a firefighter, how does it personally feel to hear about other firefighters not having the right equipment to do their job?
It hurts us because we always talk about it as a brotherhood. We take care of each other like family, and hearing apparatus breaking down and equipment failing and that resulting and people getting hurt is not something that we like to hear. So this is our way of kind of taking care of each other.
And what kind of reaction are you getting?
Very positive. The appreciation that I've gotten so far is just absolutely amazing. The just public even wanting to get involved and purchase t-shirts is starting to.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck, and we hope this starts a little trend here.
Thank you.
Actually.
Thank you.
George Zimmerman is now in trouble with the law again, and it involves guns.
And hundreds of people injured after a bombing in Lebanon. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
George Zimmerman is out of jail after posting a $9,000 bail. The former Neighborhood Watch volunteer is not allowed to have any weapons. Zimmerman was arrested Monday after his girlfriend said he pointed a shotgun at her during an argument. Zimmerman's estranged wife, Shelley, filed for divorce in September.
Dual explosions in front of the Iranian embassy killed at least 23 people in Lebanon. Nearly 150 people were injured. The attack happened in an area dominated by Hezbollah, which is what the U.S. considers a terrorist group.
Toronto's mayor, Rob Ford's television show has been canceled one day after it debuted. He and his brother hosted Ford Nation on Canada's Sun News Network. Ford has been in the news after admitting to smoking crack cocaine. On Monday, the Toronto City Council voted to cut the mayor's budget and transfer most of his duties to the deputy mayor.
The FFA says it's giving extra medical attention to overweight pilots and air traffic controllers before they are certified. Obese people often have sleep issues, and the FFA, of course, doesn't want its most crucial workers getting sleepy on the job. So overweight pilots and controllers will be evaluated by a sleep specialist. And that's today's World Watch.
When NIU beat Ball State last week, it was almost a sure thing the Huskies would be going back to Detroit for the MAC championship. That's not the case. Tonight is the same situation as last, as NIU travels to Toledo to face the Rockets at 7 p.m. Central for another MAC West showdown. And hopefully tonight, NIU can come up with some big plays of their own and walk out of Toledo with another victory to be 11-0 for the first time in school history.
Thanks, Eli. Go Huskies.
That's right.
This guy might look like a regular cute black lab, but he's actually a service dog. When we come back, we'll explain how some people may be trying to pass off their pets as service pets when they are not. There is a distinct line between service animals and pets. Service animals have a tremendous impact on the people who rely on them, and they need to go places other animals aren't allowed.
But some people have been stretching the rules and trying to pass their own pets off as service animals. NTC's Alan Kozalou takes a closer look at how people are being impacted.
This is Banjo. She's 5 months old, weighs about 30 pounds, and when she grows up, she's going to be someone's eyes. Jan and Steve Miller have bred seeing eye dogs in the past, but this is the first time they're raising one. Banjo is spending a year with the Millers and going through basic obedience training, but she'll have to go elsewhere for the rest of her training.
I'm sure that we'll miss her a lot when we need to give her back. But you go into it knowing that's the deal.
Service animals assist people with a range of disabilities, from blindness to post-traumatic stress disorder. But lately there's been a disturbing trend. People have been posing their pets as service animals in order to take them into public places. It's illegal, but it's hard to enforce since anyone can buy service animal vests online.
These dogs are trained to notice details most of us wouldn't even think about, like which side of the door the hinge is on. If they don't know which way the door is going to swing open, they could easily get stuck behind it.
The training also involves staying calm and docile in public places so their users can go about their daily lives. When people pose their pets as service animals, businesses may scrutinize people who genuinely need the help. This man was removed from a U.S. Airways flight because of his service dog.
If your aid is being questioned, it kind of compromises what you need to do on that day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes you feel awful because ultimately what that person is telling you is that you're not legitimate as a person because of something that you're using.
As for Banjo, she's got a lot more training before she's certified as a service animal. Whether she will run into any of these issues is anyone's guess. For NTC News in DeKalb, Alan Kozalou.
Banjo's really cute. He actually looks like my dog at home, but my dog doesn't listen at all, unlike him. But thank you for joining us, everyone. And if you would like to check out more news, visit our Facebook page at the Northern Television Center.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye, everyone.
Driving in and around DeKalb may look very different to you. Empty buildings and going out of sale signs are becoming a lot more frequent. Good evening, I'm Josh Vezina. Thanks for joining us. One NIU employee has pled guilty in the Coffee Fund investigation. That's right. The Huskies usually end their scoring drives with a bang, literally. But as Eli Gain reports, that bang was non-existent. More good news for the university. Applications for incoming freshmen have already set a record at NIU. A Sycamore man is facing child pornography charges. A police search found digital images and videos of child pornography at the man's home. The St. Charles 7th grade teacher and volleyball coach could be facing up to 30 years in jail. He's being held in the DeKalb County Jail, is on paid leave from the school, and is not allowed to use district property.